Hello friends, you're welcome back. Okay, in our previous video, we created an elastic IP address. In this video, we want to see how we can associate the elastic IP address with an instance, with an EC2, AWS EC2 instance. Here we have this demo EC2 instance, and if you go inside, you will see the IP address associated to the instance. But as we all know, the issue with having a default IP address assigned to your instance is when each time you restart your instance, this IP address will change. So if you have processes that are dependent on this IP address, it therefore means you have to go inside your code or whatever and change the where the dependencies and change the IP address, and that can be a little bit stressful. All right, so what we're going to do here is to associate the elastic IP address we created in the last video, which is this. Take note of the elastic IP address we created is demo IP address, or call it, and it ends with 124. Meanwhile, our instance IP address ends with, look at our instance IP address, ends with 153. All right, so we'll go back to the elastic IP address. And remember the goal here. Remember the goal here is to associate this elastic IP address with our existing instance. So click on associate, and we can come here and click. You see we have the demo instance which is running actually. So all we just need to do is to select our instance that is running, and that is it. Click on associate, and you remember, take note of our IP address ends with 124. So if we go back to our instance now, we should see our IP has changed to 124. That's our public IP has changed to 124. So if we connect to this instance, normally when we restart our instance, the IP address normally changes. So let's go ahead and do a test by restarting or stopping our instance and starting it all over. Okay, so but take note, our IP address ends with 49.124. So let's stop this instance, and we'll start it. So just give it a few minutes to stop. The instance is stopping. I might just fast forward this part of the video though. Okay, our instance has stopped. So we're going to remember see the IP address here. So we're going to restart our instance. And the IP address will remain the same. So why is starting? Just to give you a better view, let me create an instance demo2. We're just going to call it red hat. We're not going to create any key. Okay, so we're not going to create any key. It's not recommended, but just for this purpose. So if you see this instance is created, okay, it's starting. Allow it to start. So you see that our IP address remains our IP address. It does not change. Whether you restart your instances and come back to it later on, it does not change. So that's the beauty of that. So meanwhile, our demo2 is starting. What we will see is our demo2 has an IP address of that ends with 225.165. So if we go back to the instance, which is demo2, let's stop both of our instances. Let's stop both of them, and you'll see what happens. Stop instances. Just give it a few minutes to stop, and then we'll restart them. So in a few seconds, okay, they are both stopped. So just to if you look at our first instance, okay, let's go back here. So if you look at refresh, okay, we don't have any running instance here, so they're not running. So we can cancel here. We don't need them to be running. If you click on this, you'll see there's no IP address here because our IP address will only be for our demo 2 when the instance it will be assigned when the instance is running. Meanwhile, if you go to our demo instance, which is the first one, you see the IP address remain constant whether the instance is running or not. We have our IP address attached to it. So the moment we restart this instance, the demo2 instance, an IP address will automatically be regenerated for it. That's why when you restart your servers and bring and boot them and start them back on, what happens is that a new IP is assigned to them. So to solve that issue, it's by assigning an elastic IP address. So AWS help us solve that issue by assigning an elastic IP address. I hope that made sense to you. Thank you. See you in the next video.